Hi, I'm Joe Welinske, Program Manager for ConveyUX, Seattle's annual User Experience Conference coming up February 28, March 1, and March 2. And I'm speaking with a couple more of the presenters who will be with us at the conference. And today I'm speaking from my Seattle office to Evelina and Osama. Hello, where are you speaking to us from today?
Hi Joe, I'm Evelina. So we are currently in Houston and Osama is from Austin.
I'm sorry, I should have said your last names as well, but why don't you just introduce yourself and each of you talk a little bit about your organization and your background and the type of work that you're involved in.
So Evelina Tapia, PhD. I'm a lead user researcher at ChaiOne, which is located here in Houston. As a user researcher, I figure out all sorts of business, design, technology requirements that our clients need for their solutions. We work primarily with business-to-business, business-to-enterprise types of clients in Fortune 500 client domain. We do also some consumer work, but focuses more on the enterprise applications. Before I became a researcher, I was a cognitive psychology and cognitive neuroscience researcher. So I have a lot of background in human perception, cognition. So that's kind of what's drawing me to augmented reality.
All right.
Hi, I'm Osama Ashawa, lead interaction designer at ChaiOne, and I work in the Austin office and occasionally come down to Houston and help out the team here. At ChaiOne, we spend a lot of time as designers going into various environments and unraveling the mess of processes that we encounter. So a lot of my time and effort is spent organizing chaos and making redesigning processes to make them more efficient and more engaging.
Well, we're glad to have you participating in the event and traveling from Houston to Seattle. Maybe talk a little bit about some of the things that you're currently working on, interested in, any new passion projects or special projects that you'd like to talk about?
So I'm definitely very interested in augmented reality, hence the birth of this talk, but also virtual reality, gaming, and entertainment, how that translates, let's say, in our movie viewing experiences, all of the sensory experiences that combine to that, because it's going to be big.
For me, I'm very interested in virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality, and more specifically the design patterns that can be found in those areas or that need to be created. So a lot of fields that are already established, like the web environment, the mobile environment, interaction patterns have been defined, identified, and well advanced. So now we're in this new field of virtual reality and augmented reality, and there's really no standards. So it's pretty exciting to try to develop some standards or just see what, design something, see what sticks and learn from that and move on. So that's where I'm focusing.
Uncharted territory.
Exactly. I want to plant some flags.
Well, your topic title for the conference is Design Do's and Don'ts for Great AR. So maybe talk a little bit about the genesis of this topic and what people could expect to learn from it.
So I can give a quick overview. What we see, obviously, there's a lot of interest in augmented reality applications. A lot of consumer-facing apps have already hit the market or are trying to draw consumers to big companies. But there's multiple platforms on which augmented reality experiences can be created. So Google Glass is a smart glass application, kind of way to utilize augmented reality, but currently a lot of consumer apps focus on phones like Pokemon Go or even tablets, so some coloring books that Disney, for example, is putting forward. So we want to talk about how interactions and design principles and user experiences differ for these different platforms, what we have seen works and what doesn't work that people who want to get started with augmented reality should be more informed about, so that they can kind of get up to speed with augmented reality capabilities quicker and faster, and not necessarily make so many mistakes, and just open a conversation, because as Osama stated, we are also learning about these experiences and things that work and don't work ourselves. So we want to start a topic and have a conversation and share what we know and learn from other people to see what they learned and what they know.
And with respect to the projects that you've already worked on, are there any things that have jumped out at you as particularly challenging aspects that are unique to augmented reality?
I would say yes, the knowing what information to present to users, knowing that has a relationship with just understanding user tasks and what problems they're trying to solve, and how can augmented reality as a tool help facilitate them in solving that problem. So I would say surfacing the right information at the right time in a helpful way, and also what methods or approaches are we looking at to make that interaction intuitive in an augmented reality environment. So what interaction patterns work best when, and how do those work?
And just to give a concrete example, so for instance, if you have a field worker that has gloves and many tools in his hands that he needs to do his daily tasks, and then he's asked to carry a tablet device that allows him to see data about various meters in the field, and he's projecting the data and has an augmented reality experience, interacting with that device alone, regardless of the richness of data he may get, is cumbersome, because he's wearing gloves, he's wearing a visor, there's a lot of sun, there could be wind, rain in the environment that he's in. So maybe for a business to invest in such a tablet-based augmented reality solution is really unwise, because it's not user-friendly and not really feasible for good use in that context of work and in that environment.
And if I could add to that, basically approaching it through a user-centered design perspective, right? So it's one size doesn't really fit all. We have to take into account, as Evelina was saying, that specific user's context, right? What kind of equipment are they using? What kind of work are they doing? And then how do those tools and software, how are they compatible with that, and how do they facilitate those things? So it's very much understanding the user, understanding the problem, the task, and then seeing if augmented reality and the methods of augmented reality, how best they can work with it.
So it's not just technology for technology's sake.
Well, it's a new, fun, interesting area to get involved with. So we'll look forward to seeing your presentation at the conference when you get here in Seattle.
We look forward to coming to Seattle too.
Can't wait. I'll bring my umbrella.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.